Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Avowed with me, BringItDon. Let's enter the Emerald Stair.
Hold a moment. They tell me you're going to Emerald Stair. Business or pleasure?
Both? Alright, Emerald Stair is a region on the western coast of the Living Lands. Once a treacherous wilderness, settlers from the Valiant Republics transformed Emerald Stair into a lush farming community. The city of Eora is one of the few places in Eora where animancers can research the soul in peace. Let's lean more pragmatic. Business. I'm looking to the Dream Scourge.
Well, just remember to cover your mouth, sneeze into your elbow, and sleep with lavender under your pillow. Fair warning, Envoy. Before you showed up, Inquisitor Ludwine barged past me. She was looking none too pleased.
I don't suppose Ludwine told you where she's going.
I didn't ask. The less I know, the better. Anyway, I thought you should know Ludwine's on the prowl. Tread lightly.
As long as she's not on our scent. Given how angry she was about Eagwolf, probably best we give her a wide berth.
The Living Lands isn't friendly to new arrivals.
Can't say I'm sad to be leaving Paradise. I had no idea how tense things were with the Adirans moving in. And now we have to worry about whether the man who killed you is going to try again.
I didn't come here to play executioner.
Believe me, that's a relief. Besides, the Steel Garrote's all too eager to take up that mantle.
Steel Garrote? I figured they're just more intense Adiran soldiers.
Their order may have started in Adir, but don't confuse those fanatics with us.
Oh, I hear you. Unfortunately, if you're marching shoulder to shoulder, some of their stink is bound to rub off on you.
That's a good point.
I don't like that Ludwine woman. She gives me the vreekas.
Yeah, I've seen floggings gentler than the scolding she gave Hilgard. One's tacking when the other's jibing, if you catch my drift.
The tacking and jibing are sailing terms. I believe jibing is when you change direction sailing downwind, and tacking is the opposite, changing direction when sailing upwind. I think jibing was developed by a guy underneath Henry VIII. It's been a while. I wrote a paper on it. Years back. Vreekas. A limber phrase used in the Living Lands to describe a feeling of unease in an unknown situation. And then Kai made a really good point earlier. Reminds me of a quote. So he said, unfortunately, if you're marching shoulder to shoulder, some of their stink is bound to rub off on you. Reminds me of a quote. If there's a Nazi at the table, and 10 other people were sitting at the table talking to him, then you're at a table with 11 Nazis. Yeah, it's hard to believe she's supposed to be working with him.
And that's gonna mean trouble for everyone around them before long.
And it's a good thing we're getting out of the city.
Yeah. Much as Liviana misses our company, I wouldn't count on your mysterious friend reviving you a second time.
Are you listening to that friend when you go all blank-eyed from time to time? Does your special friend talk to you? I mean, I had an imaginary friend when I was little, but they never brought me back from the dead.
He means that with all due professional respect, of course.
How do you know this friend doesn't mean us any harm?
I don't know that yet.
Well, maybe figure it out. We can't prepare for what we don't know is coming.
We're headed to Fior-Messi-Verno to see if the Animancers know anything about the Dream Scourge, right? Maybe we'll learn something about your condition in the process.
Right. When it comes time to deal with Animancers, you two are on your own.
The Living Lands is an odd place for a colony of scholars.
The Living Lands is an odd place, period.
But so are the Animancers.
I haven't been back in a while, but Fior is, an interesting place. It was founded about 50 years ago by a disgraced Valian duke and a handful of animancers who'd soured on politics in the republics.
Town full of nobles, scholars, and leeches, all surviving off the work of the farmers who grow food for the whole island.
We're not all useless bookworms, you know.
Right. You know, present company excluded, and all that.
Don't take it personally. Marius only does this with people he likes.
I'd say something back at you, but I'm just not feeling it for some reason.
See what I mean?
What's this about Fior?
It turns out that academics are as ungovernable as the rest of us rabble.
You don't understand what they're messing with. They can't tame the wilds with machinery.
They've held it at bay, until recently. Their ingenuity, or madness, or heresy, take your pick, has fed a lot of people in the living lands. But, rumor has it, some unnatural blight is destroying their crops.
Right when the Dream Scourge appears, the possible connection is troubling.
Hopefully there's nothing to that. But if there is, we'll find out soon enough. And while we're in Emerald Stair, there's something I've been putting off. An old friend from my time in Thirdborn had a cabin out in the woods. Tama. He passed a while ago, but he left something for me that I never got around to picking up. But since we'll be in Emerald Stair anyway...
We'll go to the cabin.
You won't regret it. Emerald Stair's lovely this time of year. Even the Delimgon bloom.
No matter what I tell you, you keep picking flowers from things that want to kill you.
Hey, they love me. You just gotta ask nicely. Compliment their foliage.
Right. Maybe buy them a drink before they choke you to death with vines.
I don't know if we read about the Delimgans yet. Delimgan are plant-like beings bound to ancient trees. While content to leave most adventurers alone, they have been known to lash out at settlers encroaching on their territory or anyone they perceive to be a threat to nature. Is Emerald Stair that dangerous?
Imagine a flooded area, but instead of water, it's all plants that just seem to want you lost, starving, and dead. Step on the wrong thorn or eat the wrong leaf, and you'll find yourself paralyzed or exploding out of both ends.
He's just trying to scare you. But he's also right. You and I have quite the adventure ahead of us, Envoy.
Marius, what will you do now?
I have, you know, things to do back in Paradise. It keeps me plenty busy.
Come to think of it, I haven't been to Emerald Stair in a while, and the Envoy's never been. Know any good guides we could hire?
None that could help the two of you. You need the best guide in the lands to keep you from getting yourselves killed.
It seems like we already have the best hunter in the lands right here.
Hey, you don't have to butter me up.
Now that you mention it, you're gonna need my help if you're traveling through the lands with this Nimdut. I have two rules. No campfire songs and no hugs. That last one's non-negotiable.
I hear wiggle room on the singing.
If we're done being ridiculous, we should get some rest. We'll be in Emerald Stair tomorrow.
Good to have you with us, Marius.
Right. Go to bed before you violate the hugging rule.
Also, I learned that we actually have to activate this. Oh, it's already activated. Voila.
Envoy? Fior Messiverno, huh? Guess if you're looking for an animancer, that's the place to go.
We were settled by the finest animancers in Valia. If anyone can help, it's them.
I don't know about all that. They decided to settle in a hostile forest and use animancy to conquer it. We might get there and find that these people aren't as ready and willing to help you as you hope they are.
Well, it's worth a try.
Yeah. Looking forward to dragging you people through Emerald Stair, on the distant chance Fior will be feeling generous with their time. I've led a few people there from Paradise or Thirdborn, and I've almost lost someone on every trip.
Someone's slipping.
I said, almost.
I'm thankful for your expertise.
Just glad I can help. Right, changing the subject.
I'd love to get your thoughts on our companions.
I'd just tell you what I told you last time you asked me that. Nothing has changed since then.
I want to talk more about you.
Oh, good. Let's have it.
Why don't you want to talk about your life?
Because it's not that interesting, really, and knowing about it won't keep you alive, and I don't like talking about it. So why pry? Wouldn't you rather your wilderness guide be happy and unburdened by thoughts of his past?
Fine. You don't want to talk about it, we won't talk about it.
I appreciate that, Envoy.
How did you learn your survival skills?
When I was a child in Solace, a warden named Alinka taught me the basics. What berries to eat, how to build a shelter, and so on. Later, I started going out on patrols, just to get experience in the wilds. By the time I was 15, I was going out on my own.
What did you do on patrol?
I was usually part of a small patrol, maybe 4 wardens. We'd travel the roads in Galawain's tusks, and I was in charge of camp. We'd make sure the Zaryps weren't getting restless, the roads were clear of bandits, and the lava flows weren't flooding. Turns out I was just good at surviving on my own, so I kept doing it, and I kept getting better at it.
So you left Solace because you didn't need it anymore.
Right, changing the subject.
Well, that's enough for now.
Anyway, what do you need?
I want to talk more about you.
Oh, good. Let's have it. Anyway, what do you need?
Alright, that's enough for now. Get some rest.
If I must. Envoy?
You look like there's something on your mind. Alright.
What do you need?
Unless I did miss some dialogue there, but that's okay.
Pleasant dreams.
Who knew plants could be so threatening?
What do you know about animancy?
Not a whole lot, and I've been happy keeping it that way. Playing around with essence, poking at souls, trying to move them out of and into places they shouldn't be, it makes me queasy. Though, if we're going to understand the Dream Scourge and your godlike lineage, I suppose we'll have to get comfortable with it. Still, I'm happy to leave those pursuits to other people.
Exactly. Other people. People who are a safe distance away.
I didn't realize Rawatayans had a problem with animancy.
Not the same way Adirans do. We've got no laws against it. I've just always felt more comfortable with things I can see and grasp for myself.
I don't mind a little mystery.
Then I guess it's better that you're the one with a connection to something in the beyond.
I've got questions about you.
My favorite subject.
Who's Tama? And what are we retrieving from his cabin?
He was my commander and thirdborn. But he was more than that, too. A mentor, friend. Tama helped me out when I first came to the Living Lands over a decade ago. I was still figuring myself out.
This is you, having figured yourself out.
Hey, now I know I can't stomach rusk snout milk. As for what we'll find, I don't know any more than you.
Really?
All I know is he said it was his most prized possession. And seeing as he was on his deathbed at the time, I wasn't of a mind to ask.
Tell me about Tama.
Where to start? The man couldn't carry a tune, but it didn't stop him from trying. He'd have the whole tavern singing shanties with him nearly every night of the week. He had a vexing habit of saying the thing you most needed to hear when you were least ready to hear it. He'd give you the shirt off his back and the meat off his plate. But the selfish bastard left the rest of us a world without him in it.
Then why haven't you gone back?
To a house full of his books, his dishes, his clothes, without him in it?
It seems like there's something there you need to face.
Look, if I wanted this kind of honesty, I'd write home. You know how sometimes you leave a thing unfinished for too long and it just grows bigger and bigger in your mind?
Yes.
I just need to see what he left me. Whether it's one of his old books or one of those fossils he was always collecting.
It's a task you left unfinished for too long.
Yeah, that's it. Enough from me. We've got a long road ahead.
Have other questions about Emerald Stair?
Sure. What's on your mind?
That's all. Good night, Kai.
If you get up in the night, don't wander too far.
Alright, new place. New adventures await.
Take him down.
Oh, would you be a dear and help with these spoilings, please?
Looks like she could use our help. Let's get her in. Well done.
Don't get too comfortable. More on.
Yeah, eyes right.
Oh, fantastic. People. I was about to lose my wits.
A mind's question. The dust of the Akita in her hair. She knocks. We would answer.
You wouldn't happen to have a ladder on hand, would you?
I carry books, not ladders.
Don't take that tone with me, darling. There's a beautiful vase right in those ruins that I cannot reach. And as sharp as my wits are, they are a poor substitute for a ladder. But perhaps we don't need one. You're tall, striking, and well-toned.
It's true. You should touch my abdominal muscles. They ripple.
Do they really? I wonder what other advantages godlikes come with. Maybe the three of you have experimented?
I'll try anything twice.
It's more of an animancy thing, isn't it?
According to my studies, such activities can be expressed with a myriad of methods.
You make lovemaking sound like Hector Brewer discussing tea. Flaccid. In any event, I already have a lover. He always carries a ladder. But, sadly, he's busy helping the Animancers in Fjord, and I need this vase now.
I can help you. It's a little trouble.
Oh, you will? My. You're a looker and a doer. The vase sits atop that tower beside us, in the ruins there. And once you've got it, look me up. Yatsley, wizard extraordinaire, godless expert, and a Balrog in the bedroom.
You do me.
The vase, did you get it?
Not yet. I've got bodies to loot. That one must be above us. Or not. I must have fallen through the world or something. It said it's right here, but I don't see it.
Darling, you are aware I can see you digging through my things, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm not gonna fret about it. Oh, okay, that's the body that was over there.
Quiet, Nimdude.
Don't tell me what to do.
Here we go. Here we go. One for you. Oh, you see that? We got them all. Yeah.
A lot of the next tier of crafting materials. Sounds like that loot's down here somewhere. There it is. Excavation log. Governor Vidaro ordered us to halt the excavation. Emerald Stair is going through changes, and it's unstable in more ways than one. While I understand his concerns, these ruins have been here a long time. I don't think they're going anywhere. Wish I could say the same for us. Feels like the land doesn't want us here, and I can't argue with the land. Oh, I'm sure you can. Be much good. Godless vase. An old vase in pristine condition. It looks unfamiliar in its design, but perhaps there's a scholar who can explain its origins. I think we know just the person.
Yeah.
Notice from the governor. Travelers to Emerald Stair proceed at your own risk. Unprecedented environmental changes have weakened our infrastructure, opened treacherous sinkholes, and angered the flora and fauna. Unless you have critical business in Fiora Mess Averno, I suggest you turn back until the situation normalizes, which should be any day now. Governor Ignacy Vidaro. Someone has scribbled at the bottom. This is the new normal.
Andra's titties, you found it! I tried using magic to get the vase down, but alas. Thankfully, you and your little friends came along and saved the day.
Excuse me. We're all bigger than you are, Nimdude.
I may be small, but my magic is not, I assure you.
Oh really? I bet you can't perform Archimir's dazzling lights.
Of course I can. Are you a wizard as well? Remarkable. An Adiran godlike wizard. You're nearly as fascinating as this godless face. But I'd best pack up. I want to get home. I have a new artifact to study. Thank you for your help, godlike. Even if you didn't have a ladder.
Well.
And of course I forgot a ladder. Wonderful.
Hey, camp.
Unseen,
I'm gonna practice parry.
What's up?
Oh. Not what I expected to have happen. Oh gosh.
That's one for us.
Well, that's a lesson learned.
ready, aim.
Hi, torn out journal entry. I've had these dreams lately. I tried talking to the others. They think I'm insane. I'm not. There's something in the earth, in the island. I've spoken to animators, watchers, and priests. No one understood. I have felt it. When no god answered my prayers, when I was without a single mercy, I felt it. The radiating heat of a packed dirt and the cooling kiss of the wind. I'm not their champion, not even the first to know them. I'm an ant before the awe of infinity. Something is coming. Dark times. Sick times. I'll be with them when it happens. The tiniest margin closer to divinity.
Granted, I don't come here often, but when did it get this bad?
Grab some of these plants real quick. Ilia's Revenant Farm.
As if people weren't hungry enough.
Why is it somehow worse when the Revenants aren't trying to kill you?
A godlike in Emerald Stair. Well, well.
Blighted crop. This crop is infested with an unusual blight. We pulled it from the stomach of a revenant in Emerald Stair.
Well, maybe our luck's improving.
Let's not get your hopes up. Hi, Ilya Rossel's journal. Silvo is acting up again. Not that I'm surprised. He was my first raising, so he's bound to be unstable. How do I prove that undead labor is the future of agriculture, when my best example is a violent corpse? I should build more safeguards into their collars, or invest in louder bells. Let's go talk to Ilya Rossel. Or Roselle.
I'd offer to shake your hand, but I've been elbow deep in Beatrice all day.
You mean that rotting cadaver?
Try and use their names, if you don't mind. It builds their confidence. As you can see, this is my reanimated corpse farm.
Oh, and what do you use for fertilizer? other corpses?
I'm trying to demonstrate the value of undead labor. But of course, nothing is ever that simple.
You're using the undead for labor.
What am I supposed to do? Just let them decompose? Reanimated corpses are the future of manual labor. Cost-effective, low maintenance, and very friendly. Now, Beatrice, she's being a real problem, if you can believe it. Would you be a dear and reach into her guts? Feel around for anything that doesn't belong.
I already did. Looks like Beatrice ate some spoiled crops.
Aha! So the blight got into my revenant and interfered with her raising. That confirms one of my theories. Not only is the Dream Scourge affecting our farms, it's disrupting animancy, unraveling our work. Sounds like I have more research ahead of me, but at least now I have a sense of direction. Thank you for getting your hands dirty on my behalf, godlike. You're a natural.
What's with all the equipment around the farms?
We're animancers. Hooking up equipment and seeing what happens is what we do. You see, the living lands is rich with essence, the energy of souls. We channel this energy into our fields, and that's why Emerald Stair is the breadbasket of the living lands.
There's something poetic about the idea of plants eating souls to survive. Creepy, but poetic.
But as you can see, we've been dealing with some irregularities.
Yeah, I'm not here to judge, I'm here to investigate. You think it could be the Dream Scourge?
Giata thinks so, and I trust Giata. Traditional farms depend on water, sunlight, and the mercy of insects. What you see here is no different. Animancy can change the world, but it's an uphill climb. People don't trust what they don't understand.
We'll talk later.
Envoy, a pleasure as always.
Can't actually talk to her later.
Come back soon.
Interesting. Alright, I don't think I actually activated this camp, so let's go back and... Oh, okay. We did. Either way, we're gonna go back and rest. In case there's any events associated with it. Gosh. Crouch down.
Keep quiet.
Come and get me! Your armor's too weak here.
There we go. Get it eventually.
Oh, more of this stuff. Has
Yeah.
anyone figured out how to get rid of it?
Glad that's over.
There's no animation canceling. So you can't swing and then try to parry. Gotta commit to the swing. Alright, upgrade materials. Don't forget to check the stock of stores. Remember that you may break down your lesser used weapons and armor to ensure you have enough upgrade materials. You can also combine upgrade materials and create upgrade materials of higher quality. For instance, iron chunks, common, can be combined to create steel chunks, fine. I could have. I don't have any steel chunks, so I can't upgrade that. I can upgrade my bow, though. A lot of pelts. I can also break down higher tier items. Cool.
Listen, Kai, I need you to stalk like a cat, not stomp around like a Balrog.
My training was a lot bigger on stomping than stalking, unfortunately.
Right, and I got cooking lessons in Solace, but you don't see me making beetle mash every night for dinner. The bears out here can hear a snapfly dropping Sokka from across the stair. You don't want to get eaten, you need to walk softly.
I'll remind you of that next time you start playing your flute at camp.
That is different. Bear's natural prey doesn't tend to play flutes.
They might show up to get you to stop.
I've had this flute for years, and I have yet to be killed by a bear.
On second thought, maybe that's what's keeping them away. Is it just me, or does the night seem darker here? Shoot. Get some rest, Envoy.
Envoy?
Alright, for whatever reason that's still not voice acted. Let's talk about Emerald Stair.
Ask away.
Tell me more about Emerald Stair.
I haven't dealt with Delimgon and blights and such all that much. They usually don't bother you unless you step too far off the trail. Of course, that's pretty much a given in your line of work, so we're all doing things we're not used to doing. Still, if you have a choice between upsetting the forest and not doing that, think about it. Maybe consider that the Forest and Emerald Stair are known to hold a grudge.
Heard anything interesting out there?
Careful in the western areas of Emerald Stair. Something lives out there, and I don't really care to know what.
Do you have any tips for surviving in Emerald Stair?
Let's see. Less urgency for shelter here. You can find shrubs to block the wind or tree cover to protect from rain. There's also plenty of food around, too, if you know where to look. Rule of thumb, if it's red, don't eat it. Or if it makes you itch. There's also just about any kind of game you can imagine. Just make sure whatever you catch doesn't have mushrooms growing out of its face. Oh, and be careful when you leave the roads. You never know when that deer you killed was some Delimgon's favorite pet. There's a skeleton sitting in a chair out on the coast, west of the Fjord docks. No idea what it's doing there, but I'm always curious. Let's see. Water can be a problem out here. Don't drink from the rivers or creeks you find here, they're full of Sokka. Literally. You can get good water from inside most plants here, especially the larger vines. Or you can tap most of the trees for sap. I always put out some kind of cloth to collect the dew in the morning. That's assuming Kai doesn't take it and use it as a nose rag. Oh, there's another tip. Make sure the people you're traveling with aren't Nimdudes.
Hey, so Sokka, vulgar lumber term for crap or stuff.
There's a skeleton Let's see. Right. So I wasn't completely honest before when I talked about avoiding river water and such. Water from the river or creeks, or whatever is, well, it's nasty. Drink that stuff and you'll be shooting Sokka from both ends. So whatever water you take from the river, you have to boil. Take out all the leaves and bugs and such and leave it in a pot over the fire. I always carry a bundle of ditchberry bark too. Tastes terrible, but it keeps the water from making you sick. Trust me, you'll thank me later.
Alright, ditchberry. Ditchberries are small green berries that grow in the living lands. While their flavor is unappetizing, they're helpful at filtering drinking water.
I get a weird feeling when I get close to Lake Lacuna. Like there's something there that shouldn't be. Let's see. It can be tough to make a fire out here. All the wood is wet, or wriggling, I guess. I try to collect bark and small limbs throughout the day and leave them by the campfire to dry so I can use them the next day. Kindling can be hard to find. I have an old book I tear pages out of just to get a fire started. But don't worry, it's nothing important, just a book of Valian short stories or something. I already read it anyway. I get a weird Like, let's be honest. If you go hungry in Emerald Stair, you're doing something wrong. You're much more likely to be eaten by Zarops or wake up in an ogre cave than starve. There is something big in the southeast of the region. Most hunters say to stay away from there. Let's see. Not sure what to tell you. You've got a good grasp of the basics, at least. I get a weird feeling when I think you know almost... Let's see. Not sure what to... There's a skeleton.
Alright.
Right. Oh. Anyway, what do you need? You too.
Alright, we'll call it here then. It's good. Rest up. And next time we'll continue exploring Emerald Stair. And we've had a good introduction to the region so far. Alright, well I'm going to call it here for now. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.